Hello and what's up, you guys? Is Learn here with yet another video here. Now obviously, as you can see, this is a split screen display. I thought that was kind of cool. On the left is the clean client, no hacks. On the right is the hack client. What this is essentially is when the audios isn't turned all the way off. But essentially, I took a hack client and I wanted to compare the advantages that the hack client users had over the clean client users, so the fair users, in a sense. And so I made this video to kind of portray or show what advantages the hack client had. So as you can see, the hack client, in the end, I know what happens in the end. You guys will find out eventually. The hack client does win, but not by a lot actually, and so that's kind of an interesting aspect to this. So I am not horrible at this game. I'm alright. Obviously, I was able to win with a clean client, so I'm not bad. It did only take one attempt to win with the clean client, so it actually took more attempts to win with the hack client as opposed to clean client, but I think that had a lot to do with other hackers playing, etc. So it wasn't really possible to make this 100% even. I did do what I could. I played on the same map, and I tried to use the same strategy, but obviously, the player skill difference was significantly different in both these matches. The hack client player skill, there were 3 or 4 guys who were significantly better than people on the clean client. So that I mean that's part of the. I mean, a lot of the times you'll bump into people with hack clients on here, and you can tell they have hack clients where usually they'll shoot around the corner. Before you even go there. I know you can see their question marks or their name tags, but you know, usually it's a safe indicator that they're hacking. If they do consistently, and if they start pulling out snipers and stuff. And if you don't know what snipers are, they're the guys that stand at the top. That just try to get easy kills. They're very easy to take out if you know where they are, and if you have the hack client, you know exactly where they are. So, and without the hack client, I mean, it's kind of harder. So basically, we had this fight over which one was better, and I did win with the hack client. I won by more. However, I think in the hack client, or in the clean client, there were there were 3 or 4 guys that were much harder to beat. They were relatively skilled at the game. So yeah, and I apologize with the funky resolution. Split screen's actually really hard to do, so bear with me on that one. But yeah, so I did have a lot of fun with this because I did play for 2 or 3 hours to make sure I knew what I was doing. I didn't want to be horrible. Alright, so it looks like the hack client finished up here, I think. Yeah, the hack client finished up here with a score of like 25 to the next runner-up was like 22 or 23. So the hack client did have, the hack client was able to compete. But the clean client, if you'll notice, it's a very close game between me and King something. I can't actually read those because of resolution. I'm previewing it in 480p as opposed to 1080p or 720p, so I can't read anything. But so I do just barely win it, and it's because I was able to KS him right there and kill him. But so all in all, I think it's safe to say that the hack client user did have its advantages, and it was much better than the clean client. So hack clients give you a +1 with this specific game, but the clean client, you know, it's still just as viable. So what I want to get out of this is the hack client had a very big advantage, but the clean client, I mean, it's not that big of it's not a big enough advantage to make it completely unfair to the point where you can't compete with the hack client. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Comment, rate, subscribe, and be sure to check out some of my other videos.